Welcome to the News Hour. The verdict is in. Former President Donald Trump is found guilty on all 34 criminal charges against him in a New York courtroom.
An historic moment as he becomes the first former president charged and now convicted of a felony. The case stemmed from Mr. Trump falsifying business records to cover up hush money payments to adult film actress Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 presidential election. Mr. Trump reacted after the verdict and said this case is long from over.
Day 15 of Trump's hush money criminal trial in Manhattan, and things just got significantly worse for his defense. Former personal secretary Madeleine Westerhout was called to the stand by the prosecution, somewhat reluctantly, and promptly made a major slip that could seriously damage Trump's case. While testifying about a contact list she had prepared for Trump at the start of her tenure, she revealed details that directly undercut the defense's narrative. The list contained people Trump had spoken to before taking office or intended to connect with, a seemingly small detail that carries significant legal weight in context. The timing couldn't be worse. With Michael Cohen set to take the stand next week, Trump's legal team needed today to go smoothly. It didn't. Westerhout was their witness, and she handed the prosecution a gift. Day 15, and the walls are closing in.
It is day 15 in the criminal trial of former President Donald Trump.
Next week, Michael Cohen is expected to take the stand. CBS 2's Alice Gaynor was in the courtroom today and has this update.
Former White House aide Madeleine Westerhout took the stand again Friday. The defense pulled up a contact list prepared for Westerhout when she started working for then-President Trump. Westerhout said it was comprised of people he spoke to before he became president or might be interested in speaking to.
Day 15 of Trump's hush money trial, and it just became his worst day yet. Former personal secretary Madeleine Westerhout took the stand, initially careful and measured. But under cross-examination, Trump's own defense team pushed too hard, and she slipped. Under oath, she testified that Trump personally instructed her to handle the Stormy Daniels payment just like the McDougal deal. His exact words, "Whatever it takes." The courtroom went silent. You could see it on her face the moment she realized what she'd said. Judge Merchant called a recess. Trump sat expressionless. His entire defense, built on the claim that he knew nothing, that Cohen and his lawyers handled everything without his input, collapsed in a single sentence. Here's why it matters. Westerhout isn't a hostile witness. She wasn't out to get Trump. She was his loyal personal secretary, part of his inner circle, called reluctantly by the prosecution. Juries trust witnesses like her precisely because she had no agenda, and yet she told the truth, and the truth buried him. The reference to the McDougal deal makes it even worse. This wasn't Trump's first hush money payment. Karen McDougal, the Playboy model, was paid off years earlier. By telling Westerhout to handle Stormy Daniels the same way, Trump revealed he had a playbook, and he was running it again. That's not ignorance. That's a pattern. Add Michael Cohen's testimony that Trump personally reimbursed him with signed White House checks, and the prosecution now has a complete chain. Trump ordered it, directed it, paid for it, and falsified the records to cover it up. All 34 felony counts are back in play after the judge ruled presidential immunity doesn't cover falsifying business records. The clip went viral, 15 million views in hours, and the timing couldn't be worse. On the same day, Canada rejected his tariffs. His own party voted against him, and Fox News cut him off live. Tomorrow night, he has to deliver the State of the Union, presidential, composed, in control, while everyone in the room is thinking about those 4 words. Whatever it takes. March trial. The walls are closing in.
Well, turning now to a live look over our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. Today, the U.S. House voted against tariffs on Canada. It's a rare, if largely symbolic, rebuke of the White House's agenda as Republicans joined Democrats over the objections of Republican leadership. The resolution would end the national emergency President Trump declared to impose the tariffs. Northern California Republican Kevin Kiley was the only Republican in California to vote in favor of the resolution. The president posted on social media, quote, "Any Republican in the House or the Senate that votes against tariffs will seriously suffer the consequences come election time, and that includes primaries," end quote.
Picture this. You're the president. Your party controls both the House and the Senate. You've built a movement that runs on loyalty for power, Plain and simple. For a while, it worked perfectly. Trump said, jump. Republicans jumped. He called for a vote. They voted. No questions asked. Then, February 2026 arrived, and everything started to crack. 3 Republicans crossed the aisle on a procedural vote to block Speaker Mike Johnson's effort to protect Trump's tariffs from being challenged. And they succeeded, teaming up with Democrats to shoot it down. Days earlier, 6 Republican members voted to end Trump's tariffs on Canada entirely. Not tweak them, end them. They looked at one of his signature economic policies and collectively said no. Trump went straight to social media with a warning. Any Republican who voted against his tariffs would face primary challenges. He said it out loud, and they did it anyway. It didn't stop there. The Senate passed a resolution to limit Trump's military power in Venezuela, against his wishes. The House passed an extension of Affordable Care Act subsidies, also not what he wanted. And nearly 36 Republicans voted to override his veto on a Colorado water bill. 36. This is the man who built his political brand on absolute loyalty, who ended careers with a single tweet. And right now, heading into the most critical stretch before the midterms, his own party is dismantling his agenda vote by vote, right in front of him.
This comes after the House approved it in a vote of 219 to 211. 6 Republicans joined all but 1 House Democrat to pass this. It would end the national emergency that the president declared last year to justify imposing the 25% tariffs on Canadian imports. But even if the Senate agrees to the same measure, Trump still has the power to veto it.
I'm disappointed in the vote, but the president has veto power, and there's not a 2/3 majority in both chambers to override the veto, so it's not going to change the policy in the end anyway.
One of the Republican lawmakers who voted to cancel the tariffs is from here in Washington. Representative Dan Newhouse, who represents places like Yakima and the Tri-Cities, says he is trying to do what's best for his district.
Canada and the state of Washington have a very close trading relationship. It's valuable. And a lot of Canadian-owned businesses are in my district. They hire a lot.
Trump entered 2026 expecting Republican unity, but instead got friendly fire from his own party across every major policy front. On tariffs, 3 House Republicans joined Democrats to kill Speaker Johnson's procedural vote protecting Trump's trade policy. 6 others went further, backing a bill to completely eliminate the 25% Canada tariffs. Representative Dan Newhouse of Washington, whose district has deep trading ties with Canada, openly explained he had to put his constituents first. With the Supreme Court already striking down Trump's emergency tariff powers and a weak 10% backup expiring in 150 days, his trade leverage is essentially gone. Foreign governments, businesses, and markets are all watching and adjusting accordingly. On war powers, the Republican-controlled Senate passed a resolution requiring congressional approval before any military action in Venezuela. This wasn't just a policy disagreement. It was Congress drawing a constitutional line, telling a president from their own party, "We decide when American troops go to war, not you." That changes everything about how Trump can project military power going forward. On health care, House Republicans voted to extend ACA subsidies Trump wanted to expire. On a Colorado water bill, nearly 30 Republicans overrode his veto entirely. All of this happened in the same week, and the timing, right before critical votes, felt less like coincidence and more like sabotage. The driving force behind all of it is simple: the 2026 midterms. Every House Republican will be on the ballot. Those in competitive districts have done the math. Defending Trump's unpopular policies is a bigger threat to their seats than crossing him. Fear of voters has replaced fear of the president, and that is the most dangerous shift any leader can face. Rallies won't fix it. Threats won't fix it. These members are more scared of their constituents than they are of him. Trump's coalition isn't broken yet, but it's fraying. And fraying has a way of picking up speed once the first threads come undone. If this is February, just wait until campaign season.